Hello, my nerds. How you guys doing today? So I'm currently in Tennessee, and no, I'm not actually wearing sunglasses inside my truck. I have transition lenses, so they'll shift back probably here within a minute or two. Alright, so let's see. I already kind of talked at length about the All Souls trilogy. Let's go on ahead and move to, well, I'm kind of listening to two different series. Well, technically like three different series at the moment on audiobook. I'm listening to the Wheel of Time series. I'm listening to, the Hidden Legacy series by Alona Andrews, which I've already read, for the most part. I don't think I've read like the latest book, but let's see. And I'm also listening, probably to the subject of this video. I'm listening to Circle of Magic Quartet by Tamora Pierce. And I absolutely love Tamora Pierce. I first read her, I think I was in the 6th grade. My sister got, maybe it was the 5th. It could be it was the 5th or the 6th grade. My sister got me one of her books for Christmas. Now, Tamora Pierce, for the most part, writes in quartets, and which is really good. And they take place in two different worlds. You have the Tortland books, which take place usually in the Kingdom of Tortle, and then you have the Circle of Magic books, which kind of take place in different places. The first quartet kind of took place in Emlyn, and then the second quartet kind of took place in other areas. She does have like standalone books and books that are basically just like sequels, but for the most part, she does write a lot of quartets, and they're absolutely wonderful. Anyway, so I'm listening to the Circle of Magic Quartet, and obviously it's a quartet, and the books are Sandry's book, Trish's book, Daja's book, Briar's book. And despite the titles, each book, they do mainly follow the character name that the book is named after, but I'd say it's about 60% following that one character, and then the other 40% is the other characters, and it's just done really well. So that way there's not a whole lot of overlap. So that way, instead of spending 3 pages with a character like wearily riding through a town with their thoughts, you're kind of shifting to the other characters, and they're having a discussion, and it is kind of a way of advancing the plot. So it's really well done. To kind of start off with, we start off with Sandry's book, and the beginning of the book, you meet the four main characters: Sandry, Trish, Daja, Briar. And each one of them are in different circumstances. Each one of them are in not favorable circumstances, and they're all rescued by a a mage by the name of is it Niclarin or Niclarin? I want to say Niclarin Goldeneye. All right, they're all rescued by him, and they're all taken to Winding Circle Temple, which is just outside of Summersea, which is the capital of Emlyn. Now, each one of them comes from a different background, and it's absolutely wonderful, because it really gives a different perspective from each of them. Kind of debating if giving their background away as spoilers. Yeah, why not? Sandry is a noble. Actually, her uncle, Duke Vedris, is the ruler of Emlyn. So she is his great niece, I think. I think her father was the nephew of Duke Vedris. So I don't know. So I think so. Yeah, she's basically the great niece. And it's apparent that he adores her from the beginning, you know. They have a really cute relationship. And then you meet. I'm trying to remember the order that you meet them, but I don't really think it matters. It doesn't really matter. You meet Briar, who actually lives in a different country. He's I'll talk about this in a minute. But Briar is is from a different country. He is a thief, part of a street gang, and he's caught thieving for the third time, which means, you know, he's going to be sent to the docks, the mines, which is a kind of a death sentence. You don't really survive very long on either one of them. But McLaren Goldeneye comes and petitions for his release, is granted, and he is released into the custody of McLaren and Winding Circle Temple. And then Daja is a trader. Traders are a people in this world. Let's see, they trade. Obviously, that's kind of their business. They don't make things. They just make, you know, trades and whatnot. And and they're not exactly a liked people. A lot of people tend to despise them. So there's a little bit of prejudice there. And then you have Triss. Triss is really the most tragic of the bunch, despite how everyone else kind of is introduced, because Triss is currently at a different temple, an orphanage, basically, because her family just dumped her off and said they didn't want to see her again after they had passed her around from one relative to another. So she was really kind of a tragic figure, and that really kind of shaped her into a very, like, angry individual, which is completely understandable. I see my glasses are cleared up, and I still. Hold on, I got it. Let me see if I can. And I hope so. Trying to. Oh. Got it. See if that helps. Helps a little bit. But, so she's to me, she has the most tragic background, because, let's face it, at least with the others, there's a sense of understanding for why their backstory is tragic, whereas Trish, it just sucks, you know. But anyway, all four of them are rescued by Nico, shortened for McLaren. They call him Nico, and taken to it's either Winding or Winding. I pronounce it how you wish. I say Winding, all right, but the audiobook says Winding, so I say Winding. That's just me. And they're taking the Winding Circle, and needless to say, they have a little trouble kind of fitting in. Now, and by the way, I kind of should point this out. The reason that Sandry is at Winding Circle is really because Duke Vedris, who is a kind man and really cares for his niece, unfortunately, he doesn't exactly have a good home for children. He tends to not really have parties. His wife passed. All of his children are grown. So it's really a really boring and isolated location for his niece. So it's actually Nico's idea that she go to Winding Circle. It's nearby. He can visit whenever he wants. She'll get an education. She'll be with kids her age. It's really a better deal. But she still has some trouble fitting in. So all four of them wind up at Discipline Cottage, which, considering the size that they describe it, I'm going to say it's less of a cottage, more of like a small manor house. Because, you know, whenever I think cottage, you know, I'm usually thinking like one floor, main room, one, maybe two, possibly three bedrooms off to the side. But you know, Discipline Cottage has on the ground floor, main room, kind of a kitchen area, 4 bedrooms, 2 workrooms, and then it has a second floor that has at least 2 bedrooms, a storage room, and also an attic. So that's less of a cottage, more of a small manor house. But anyway, they're sent to Discipline, which is run by what are they called? They're not nuns. Dedicates. That's it. They're run by dedicates of the Earth Temple, Winding Circle, by the way, is split into 4 different temples: Earth, Air, Water, Fire. Each one has each one has dedicates. Each one has dedicate initiates, and it's a place of learning and also magecraft. And Lark and Rosethorn are both mages, and they basically run discipline and oversee the children that are sent there. And, well, come to find out, these children have magic. Sandry is what is known as a Stitch Witch. Her power comes from weaving, stitching, sewing, things of that nature. Briar is a green mage, so his powers come from growing things, plants, fungus, and whatnot. Daja is a smith mage. She gets her magic from fire, metals, and I can't remember if there's a third category or not, third subject that she gets her powers from. The molten core of the earth itself. And then Triss is a weather witch. So she's kind of the oddball out because there's not too many weather witches, and they're not too terribly common. Well, I already said that. They're not too. They're not. They typically specialize in one area, whereas hers seems to just be on all weather. So she kind of has she's kind of the odd one out. God, I thought this cough was going away. But anyway, so yeah, they go to discipline. At first, there's a little bit of headbutting, obviously. But they start to kind of grow on each other. They start to become friends, and then disaster strikes, and they have to band together to survive. So that's really kind of the basic premise of the book. Like I said, I absolutely love this series. The thing I'm not a big fan of, now that I'm older and I can think more critically about things, is the magic system seems to be very loose. Like, there doesn't seem like... There seems to be like a lot of like overlap with the magics, so it doesn't quite. So it's not quite a hard magic system. There's a lot of looseness to it, but it is a great quartet. It's a great series. Tamora Pierce is a great author. So parents, and what's really good about this, just Tamora Pierce in general, is that even boys, even though almost all of her books basically follow girls and women, she still writes so that way men can enjoy it too, and that's really kind of almost a rare thing, because a lot of and this is something that Hollywood really needs to pay attention to, because when she writes a strong female character, and I hate that term, by the way. To me, it's just strong character. That's all you need to focus on. But she doesn't do it at the detriment of men, whereas Hollywood is like, oh, we have to have strong female characters, so we have to make every asshole every guy an asshole. So, but no, she doesn't do that, and it's absolutely wonderful. And yeah, I'm going to talk about more about this series. I'm actually on the second book. I'm almost to the end of it, Triss's book. So, Sandry's book, give it a listen to, give it a whirl. It's really wonderful. Even as an adult, I can appreciate it, and just kind of how simple it is. It's a very simple story. They're not terribly complicated, so it really is just kind of an easy listen to. So it's good for adults, good for kids, good for boys, good for girls. It's really kind of an all-around thing, So give it a listen to, give it a try. Let me know what you guys think. And then I think next video I'll talk about the second book, and maybe I might take a break in between the books. Who knows? Like I said, I'm kind of listening to several series at the same time, so we'll see what happens. But give it a listen to, give it a whirl, and let me know what you guys think. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. You guys know what to do. I don't really think it matters. I don't plan on making money on this. I just do this for my own entertainment. But still, it kind of feels good if people do that. So that way, I kind of know I'm actually talking to one person at least. So anyway, you guys be good, have fun, and I will See you guys later.